Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see so many people have joined today's session. It's Andrew here from crimap.co.uk, and welcome to our latest live webinar for today. Today, we're joined by the team from Pfizer, and the guys will be talking today about their exciting apprenticeship opportunities. Before we begin, if you look to the right of the presentation screen, you'll see a chat facility, and we are live, so we encourage you to ask any questions at any time. Feel free to make comments and ask questions about the presentation. There will be time at the end of the session for a full Q&A. So guys, thank you very much for joining us today. And before we begin the presentation, could you just introduce yourselves and give us a bit of an overview of your roles at Pfizer?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining our session here. My name is Sasha Choker. I am the Early Careers Recruitment Manager here at Pfizer. So my role here is to head up the apprenticeship scheme by working with our managers to create opportunities for apprenticeships within the business. I also work on the work experience program as well, which we host over the summer months. And I also work very closely with Tim on our program. So I'll hand over to him to introduce himself. So over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Sasha, and good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, my name's Tim Mahoney, and I'm the Skills Account Manager at Cogent Skills. So my role with Pfizer is threefold. Firstly, it's to support apprentices and Pfizer collaboratively throughout the delivery of the apprenticeship program. I also engage and work with training providers in the setup, monitoring, delivery and progression of the apprenticeship programs. And lastly, I'm also the lead point of contact for all matters, including the resolution of any issues that may arise.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tim. So let's start with our presentation. And again, if you have any questions throughout, please do use the chat function and we will be happy to answer your questions towards the end. So in the, I guess today what we'll be looking at who is Pfizer. I'm sure you've probably heard lots about us so far, but we'll go into a bit more detail around sort of who we are, what our purpose is. We'll then talk in a bit more detail about the Pfizer and Cogent relationship and how that works, and provide you with why to work at Pfizer. We'll then go into a lot more detail about our application process. So roles are still open. Majority of our roles will be closing on the 10th of March. However, we do have some roles that are also open until the 25th. So we will be going through our application process in a lot more detail. We will then carry on to our current vacancies and what we currently have open at the moment. And then finally, last but not least, you'll have an insight from our apprentices on our careers video. So that's apprentices who will be on there. You'll also have an insight into our undergraduates, which is a large program we also host at Pfizer as well. So our breakthrough, our purpose here at Pfizer, breakthroughs that change patients' lives. So what will you find at Pfizer? Well, the world of Pfizer, you'll discover that every single person who works here plays an essential part in making breakthroughs that change patients' lives. Whether we're driving an ambitious cycle of discovery and research or working to get vital treatments to the people that need them, our innovative thinking is dedicated to one cause, helping the health of millions of people all over the world. Our values here at Pfizer are courage, excellence, equity, and joy. We pride ourselves on working hard and on providing a supportive, collaborative working environment that respects a healthy work-life balance. So, I also have a video for you too. So I hope that's given you more of an insight into who we are here in the UK. So here in the UK, we also have 5 sites. Walton Oaks, which is our head office, and also my home base as well. Although, my home base for the past year has been working from home. This is our head office where around 800 of our employees who work across the biopharmaceutical and consumer side of the business will be based. We also have our apprenticeships based at Walton Oaks as well, but we'll go into a bit more detail about those later. Our second site is Sandwich, which is home to our pilot plant, where we manufacture the medicines for our Pfizer clinical trials worldwide, and it's also home to our pharmaceutical science molecule team too. We also have a site based in Cambridge, which is our Centre of Excellence site for our medical devices. Our Hurley site, which is home to our vaccines research and development teams, marketing, regulatory affairs, medical information and safety, and then also our Havant site, which is our packaging facility, where we host our employees as well. So I will now hand over to Tim, who will talk to you about who Cogent Skills are. So over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Sasha. So Cogent Skills is a company that's been established since 2012, and we've been working with Pfizer for many years now. So we are a skills and talent partner for the science industry, and we do work quite closely with a lot of the big science companies, the likes of GSK, AstraZeneca, obviously, as well as Pfizer. We're a not-for-profit organisation, and we are a registered charity, and we have helped these companies to recruit somewhere in the region of 2,500 candidates, more or less in the last 8 years or so. We are specialists, so all our products and services are designed with the science industry employers, and we do a lot of work developing and updating national occupational standards, which are then turned into qualifications by awarding bodies. We also have coordinated a number of trailblazer groups which have developed apprenticeship standards within the science sector. We're fully registered, and by that we do have a small training arm to our business, and in order to deliver apprenticeship training, you do have to be on the apprenticeship of training providers. And for our relationship with Pfizer, we also have an ATA model, which is an apprenticeship training agency model, which essentially means that Cogent acts as the legal employer and Pfizer acts as the host employer. So with regards to the next bit on the slide where it says your employer, so if you were successful in any of the apprenticeship vacancies that you'll see later in the presentation, it's worth noting that actually you are employed by Cogent Skills Services, but you will be doing your apprenticeship at Pfizer as the host employer. Thank you, Sasha.
Thanks, Tim. So we'll now go on to our application process. So our applications can be found on the Cogent website, and I've popped the link into the chat there. So if you click onto the link, you will see a list of all of our vacancies that are currently live. So the 4-step application process, we will now go into a bit more detail about. So the application form. Over to you, Tim.
Yeah, so for all our vacancies, you will need to submit an application form. So it is a Word document, and you'll need to download and fill it in and then upload against the job. So we would recommend that when you are completing this, you keep a copy saved to your computer that you can continue to update like you would a CV. So the form will ask you to fill in the following sections. What are your main strengths? What skills would you like to improve during this apprenticeship? What are your hobbies and interests? What do you consider your biggest achievement? And you will also need to list all your qualifications and work experience. And if you're still studying, you can also put your predicted grades. We do recommend that you list any qualifications you started but may not have finished. Ensure you list all your work experience also, because it's good for employers to see what level of experience you have. At the end of the form, you are entitled to write answers to 2 employer questions that are particular to that role that you are applying for. The questions will be found in the job advert, and these questions are key and a great opportunity to show how interested you are in the role and for you to explain why you think you will be a great fit for Pfizer. Sasha, anything more you'd like to say?
Fab, thank you very much, Tim, for giving an overview of the application form. So just to take that part and give you a bit more detail around that. So when you are filling in your application form, please do ensure that you are inputting the correct contact details, as this is what we will use to contact you. It's important that you also provide the correct information regarding your right to work, as this will be reviewed by a team and used to progress you to the next stage. As Tim also did point out in terms of your education, please ensure that you list your GCSEs or level 2 qualifications. It is a requirement that you do have GCSEs grades C or 4 or above to apply. Even if you have gained this at a later date, please do include it. This is a requirement for all applications. If you also are currently studying towards A levels or an equivalent qualification, please do list in the name and school or the university or college that you are studying with and the year that you're awarded. If you are still studying, please do put in the predicted year, the qualification, and then also the grade. If you are successful, you will need the physical certificates. As this is used when you are enrolling with training providers, and it is used to prove the minimum requirements. So from somebody that is talking from experience, please do keep your certificates very safe. They will be needed. If you do not have the certificates, please do not worry. You can request these from the institute, professional body or awarding body, but be aware there is a cost, so just keep them safe. So one of the top tips that I can provide to you when applying for your roles is keep the advert open. Some roles will require you to have more than a GCSE pass. For example, our engineering apprenticeship requires a qualification. The marketing manager apprenticeship, if you have a marketing qualification or a degree, you will not be suitable. So we wouldn't want you to waste any time when you are putting in your application. So please do ensure that you have the role open and you have ensured that you have met the requirements as well. So the second part of the application form is around work experience, and don't be put off if you don't have any work experience at all. So have a think about whether you've done a placement week at school, you've helped at a volunteering event, or you've done some volunteering work. This can also be included in your application form. When you are talking about and answering the questions about you, ensure that you answer and provide a good response to each question. Research Pfizer and do find the apprenticeship standard. This can be found on the Institute for Apprenticeships website. This is also listed on the job advert. Think about your key skills and the role you are applying for. Ensure there is a match and think well about the examples that you provide. Have a good think about your hobbies and interests too. So, for example, if you play a contact sport, think about what skills you use and how that can be transferred into your apprenticeship. Tim, over to you to talk about the video interviews.
Thank you. So what is a one-way video interview? A one-way video interview is a great way for you to complete an interview at a time that is convenient to you. We pre-record the interview questions and you record a video of your answers to each question. Now we partner with a company called Spark Hire to enable us to do this. So how it works is you will receive an invite from them to complete the interview and be given a deadline by which you need to complete it. And when you log in to complete your interview, you will see a demonstration video on how the system works. Then, after following the on-screen instructions that checks your computer setup, you will be ready to record your video. Now the benefit of this is that you can complete the interview at any time, day or night. You can even record yourself using your phone. So whilst this is a much more convenient method than a face-to-face interview, it's important that you still treat it in the same way as if you were having your interview in person. These interviews are then shared with the hiring manager alongside your application, and a final decision is made whether you are shortlisted for the face-to-face interview.
Thank you very much, Tim. So our group sessions and one-to-one interviews. So once the video interview has been completed, our hiring team at Cogent will review applications and then submit those to the hiring managers. They will then select the candidates they'd like to take through to the final stage. And our final stage is made up of 2 sessions, a group session and then the one-to-one interviews. So within the first group session, Tim and I will welcome the individuals using our WebEx software. So don't worry if you haven't used WebEx before. We will really ensure that you are able to use the software efficiently. You can put your camera on, we can hear you well, and giving you, I guess, the best opportunity before you go into your one-to-one interview. You'll then have an introduction from the apprenticeship team, so that's myself and Tim, and you will understand more about the apprenticeship opportunities at Pfizer. You will then understand more around the role. So the hiring manager, who you'll also meet, will introduce the role, and then you'll also hear from an apprentice in that space as well. One thing to also note, with the current situation, we are hiring virtually, so all interviews will take place virtually. But don't worry, we'll be there to support you and make sure that you are bringing your best self to those interviews. So a few hints and tips, which we've provided some of them over the presentation, but just some more tips for you. So make sure that you do read the 2 employer questions properly and really demonstrate your interest in the role. Research Pfizer. Towards the end of this presentation, we've also got a few links to our social media handles where there's lots of information, but do also visit pfizer.co.uk. Talk about your skills and your qualities and not just your hobbies as well. If there's something that you don't understand on the application, don't worry, don't be afraid to ask us for further clarification. Research the apprenticeship that you're applying for and ensure it's right for you, and also shows when you do your application form, you know what you're applying for too. Spell check your application and get someone else to read through it just to see what they think before you do submit. Show your passion and your enthusiasm throughout your apprenticeship, and even if you are successful, when you do go to the higher view stage. And make sure that your application is in before the closing date. So the application window for a majority of our roles will close on the 10th of March. So that's next week. So if you are looking to put your application in, you have still got some time. We do also have some other roles which will be closing on the 25th of March, but we'll highlight which roles they are later on in the presentation. So, what additional support do we have in place for our apprentices? Well, we are able to provide you with some relocation assistance. So that's a Facebook group that we have formed with all our early career individuals. So here at Pfizer, we do not only hire for apprentices, we also hire for undergraduates too. So if you do need to relocate, we can buddy or provide you with an opportunity to join a Facebook group and see what opportunities are available for relocating towards that area. Skills workshops, and it's a very exciting initiative that we have kickstarted this year. And this is to really build your skills and grow your mindset. So a combination of networking, communication, self-leadership, and really getting to know the wider cohort. And actually, this is something that we're delivering this Friday. So we'll be delivering networking to our early careers cohort. Volunteering days. So you will receive 5 days towards volunteering. So some recent activities that individuals have undertaken is helping an elderly person get comfortable with tech. Some individuals have also helped to clear up riverbanks, obviously when permitted and when it was safe. And then also some individuals within our business have also been helping out at COVID centres too. Last but not least, the apprenticeship network. This is an opportunity for apprentices to come together, to stay connected, collaborate, raise concerns, and suggest new ideas. The apprenticeship network is crucial to developing a stronger bond with our apprentices and help us drive best practice. and also increase the quality of our schemes. This is a network for all apprentices across our Pfizer sites to come together to discuss matters relating to apprenticeships, arrange events, and drive communication amongst their apprenticeship community. This is a network by apprentices for apprentices. So, we will now go on to talk about the current vacancies that we have here at Pfizer. So Tim, over to you to talk about our first apprenticeship opportunity, which is the lab scientist role.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. So laboratory scientist, which is a degree apprenticeship, this is probably our most popular apprenticeship at Pfizer, and over 50% of all our apprentices are currently working towards this apprenticeship standard. So we've got a number of roles this year that we're advertising for. So for the first position that I'm going to talk to you about, it's situated within the IPPD team, which is the Innovative Parental Product Development team. And this role is actually going to be based down in our Sandwich site down in Kent. So in order to be eligible to apply for this apprenticeship, you will need to meet the entry requirements, which is A-levels equaling a minimum of 112 UCAS points. And part of this will have to include at least A-level within chemistry at grade C or above, as well as other A-levels. The starting salary is 16,650, and the training provider that will be delivering the degree part of the apprenticeship is Greenwich University. So you will be studying towards BSc in Pharmaceutical Science. The role itself is fairly similar amongst all lab scientist positions. It is a lab-based role, so you will be helping out with routine and complex science experiments and performing a variety of technical and operational support functions across Pfizer. And this may directly impact the research and development of new products. So the closing date for this vacancy is the 10th of March. Thank you, Sasha. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thanks, Tim. So we've also got another lab scientist apprenticeship role available. And as Tim spoke about, it is a very popular apprenticeship at Pfizer. This particular role is very similar to the other role. However, this is based in our material characterization team. So again, it will involve carrying out routine and complex scientific experiments, where you have the opportunity to perform a variety of technical and operational support functions across the organisation. This role will also be a day release role, a day release apprenticeship where you will also study with Greenwich University.
Okay, Associate Project Manager. So this apprenticeship is again based at our Sandwich site down in Kent, and the entry requirements to apply for this position is 80 UCAS points, which is, I think, is a couple of A-levels. The training provider is BPP University, and their delivery method is a mixed one. So you will be having online webinars, you will be allocated a skills tutor, and you will be also working on compiling a portfolio of evidence. The role itself is based in regulatory operations, and you will be helping them with a number of initiatives on different complexities. The closing date for this position is also the 10th of March.
Thanks, Tim. So the next apprenticeship that we have available here at Pfizer is the Business Admin Apprenticeship. So if you would like a career within the engineering sector, this is your opportunity to apply for one of our business admin apprenticeship roles, which work as part of the engineering and lab support team. The team is responsible for the continuous improvement and maintenance of pharmaceutical equipment, facilities, and lab assets at Sandwich and our satellite sites, allowing for the science to take place. The successful candidate will have the exciting and varied opportunity to work within a highly regulated industry across multiple admin disciplines, covering document control, asset management, training, vendor management, and business operations. You'll join and work closely with an experienced team of motivated admin support staff and engineers, providing a professional admin and business service to the UK team. This particular role is based in Sandwich, at our Sandwich site in Kent. The minimum requirements for this role is 5 GCSEs at grade C or 4 or above or equivalent, and must include maths and English. The training provider for the role is Kent Training Agency, and it will be a mixed delivery. So your training will be a mixture of online lectures, skills webinars, and face-to-face workshops. The salary is stated at 11,915,000, and the closing date is the 10th of March.
Okay, so the next vacancy we've got, it as you can see, is the marketing manager. So this is a level 6 apprenticeship. So it's the equivalent of a degree apprenticeship, and this is actually being delivered by the Cambridge Marketing College. The entry requirements is 80 UCAS points, so you must have at least 2 A-level subjects or equivalent, and it would be preferred if the successful applicant also has some relevant business management experience or qualifications. The role itself as marketing manager, it's solely based in marketing. You're doing a lot of different marketing stuff. You're helping with them, supporting new and established projects, and you're working in terms of building up targets for their inline portfolio through patient retention or new patient recruitment. It's a fantastic apprenticeship. It's 2 years in duration. And again, the closing date is the 10th of March.
Thanks, Tim. So the next role we have here is the Junior Validation Engineer role. So you'll be responsible as a validation engineer for validating and qualifying the systems, equipment, and utilities used in the development and clinical manufacture of a range of solid dosage forms. A role that applies technical, control systems, and engineering knowledge to the design and validation of new equipment, systems, and utilities within the solid dose manufacturing area in Sandwich. This role will also include some safety and management of the full asset lifecycle. You will help to design robust manufacturing solutions and demonstrate systems are running according to the necessary specifications and operate within regulations to ensure data integrity and the production of quality products. You'll work closely with operational and technical teams within the department to validate equipment, utilities, and systems. The candidate will be expected to interact with the global workplace solutions, quality assurance, environmental health, and safety teams to support the manufacture of solid oral dosage forms for clinical supplies. This particular role is also based in Sandwich. You will require a Level 3 Engineering Apprenticeship certificate or have a Level 3 Engineering qualification, so for example, a BTEC plus 3 years of experience. This apprenticeship standard will be under the training provider will be the Manufacturing Technology Centre, and it will include a block release. The closing date for this application is the 10th of March.
Okay, one of our, again, another popular apprenticeship that we offer is the accounting professional. So this is a level 4 apprenticeship standard, and it's actually going to be based at our Walsnoaks site in Surrey. So the entry requirements is 5 GCSEs at grades C/4 or above, including maths and English. And one of the exciting things regarding this apprenticeship standard is you do actually get to study towards your CIMA professional qualification. So it is very much the first step in your career within accountancy. The actual role is about being responsible for creating and verifying financial information to support decision making. So it's actually within the decision making department, and you'll be working as part of a team and providing a quality service to internal customers. And by internal customers, well, we're talking worldwide customers, and certainly the team deal with all sorts of people from all around the world. The training provider for this is Kaplan, and similar as before, it is a mixed delivery method. So there is some online webinars, there is some face-to-face tutorials, and you will also be allocated a dedicated talent coach. Closing date for this apprenticeship is the 10th of March.
So we also have another lab scientist apprenticeship role, which is based in our analytical research and development team. So very similar to the other roles that we have listed. However, as this role was listed a lot later, there is a longer closing date. So this role will be closing on the 24th of March. So again, do have a review of our job vacancies and go into it a little bit more detail when you are applying for the role. Then our data scientist apprenticeship. So the data scientist apprenticeship will be based at Walton, Surrey, and this is within our finance department. So you'll be working towards creating and verifying digital solutions and reporting to support decision making, finding efficiencies through using digital solutions to enhance the way we work and help produce more quality and timely outputs. There is a minimum requirement of 3 A levels at grade C, C, or at least 96 UCAS points or equivalent. We do require at least one STEM subject, so either science, technology, engineering, or maths. Maths is desirable for this particular role. Cambridge Spark will be the training provider, and we're yet to confirm the delivery method. However, this is a new and fresh off the press apprenticeship opportunity. So we'll be live on our website in the up and coming days, but we wanted to share this opportunity as we are presenting to you today. So before I go into a bit more detail about Pfizer providing you with some more information about Pfizer, I just wanted to share with you our early careers video.
What gets me out of bed in the morning is being able to go into work and just knowing that gradually, step by step, I'm doing real chemistry. I'm very much being given current projects. I'm helping develop the drugs that they are currently working on. And the whole thing is just a really good way of getting that early experience before you go out into the world. So at Pfizer, they're really interested and invested in your work-life balance. Only 45-minute meetings, no longer than an hour, got a gym on site. It makes you feel, as an employee, a bit more thought about. They're actually invested in your well-being.
Managing to get to an apprenticeship and actually having uni on the side for free is a ridiculous deal. It's perfect. What really makes me tick is new ideas, really getting involved in innovation, new things, developing new technologies and getting on the cutting edge of science.
I joined Pfizer as an undergraduate, completed my undergraduate year. I had a lot of support and encouragement from my bosses who were very keen for me to apply for the graduate scheme. I'll be honest, I had such a fantastic year in that third year. All I could think about was coming back to Pfizer.
I think within Pfizer, everybody gives opportunities to speak to other people, to gain more knowledge, learn what other people are doing. Everyone is so friendly. It makes you a more confident person that will be able to go and feel confident to speak to senior leaders. That's really important going into a new job as well.
So when I was finally offered a permanent role with Pfizer, I did shed a tear when that contract offer came through. Emotional moment to think that you've come through all the schemes, all the training, all the years of university education to finally be offered a contract in such a brilliant company on a permanent basis.
I feel like Pfizer are very supportive of me, and my team want me to do well, and they will me to do well. If I do need time where I've got an exam coming up, and maybe I need an extra study day or I need an hour extra to look over my studies, I will get that.
I am currently a lead business administrator with Pfizer, and I just completed my level 4 apprenticeship in business administration. We're quite lucky in the fact that we're given 5 volunteering days a year, so we can almost give back a bit by going out to schools and saying, look, this is what we've done, this is how we've got here, maybe you should consider it too.
So I'm actually buddied up with Ryan, whose marketing role in his last year is actually the role that I'm doing now. So it's quite a nice relationship because I can go to him, ask him about things he would have dealt with in his first year. It's someone that you can talk to and they've been there and done it.
Colleagues reinforce your abilities and tell you when you do a good job. Little things like that have really helped me feel like I've become one of the best versions of me that I could be.
The university isn't right for everyone. It wasn't right for me. Apprenticeship was, and I've done well for 2 years, so
By going onto a graduate scheme like we've got at Pfizer, you're going to be exposed to key elements of a business very early on.
You can go back to uni knowing where you want to get to by the time that you finish there.
The best part of my job is the fact that I get to meet so many different people. It's about inspiring the next generation of scientists, of mathematicians, of engineers, of people like me who want to come and help to create those medicines that will then help the patients.
So I hope by watching our early careers video, you can see how passionate our apprentices are about working for Pfizer and the opportunities that they get with us as well. So if you want to know more about Pfizer, we are present on all of the social media handles. So please do visit us at pfizer.co.uk. If you want to go to our apprenticeship page, please just add /apprenticeships to that. We are also available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And if you want to revisit some of our videos, you can also find those on YouTube as well. So thank you very much for listening. And I can see we have had some questions in the chat, but if following the presentation and you have any further questions, please do email us at studentprogramsuk@pfizer.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha and Tim, for that presentation. It was some really good information in there with some good hints and tips as well. Like you said, we've got some questions coming in, and we've also got some common questions that we get asked a lot about apprenticeships, which I'll run through. So the first question was coming from James, and he was asking about deadlines. And I know you covered a lot of that through the presentation. So what's the best way for him to view the deadlines of the application roles?
Absolutely. So if you do go on to our vacancies page, so the best way to find it is if you go to www.pfizer.co.uk/apprenticeships. On the right hand side, you can see our current vacancy tile. Click on that tile, and I've also popped the link which will take you straight onto the Cogent website as well. So if you click on that link there, you will find all of our vacancies that are listed. So a majority of our roles will be closing on the 10th of March. So if you do go into each of the vacancies, there will be a clear deadline listed. So like I said, majority will be closing on the 10th of March, with an exception of some closing on the 25th of March. So please do have a look at each of those vacancies for more information on the application closing date.
Okay, thank you. And just sort of leading on from that, a common question that we get asked again about dates is, how long does an apprenticeship last with Pfizer?
Absolutely. So again, Tim, do you want to take that question? Otherwise,
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's really about the duration of the training provider with regards to the level of the apprenticeship. So obviously each apprenticeship, although it might have a standard duration, so for instance, the lab scientist one is 5 years in duration. Some of the other apprenticeship standards will vary in length because each apprenticeship is geared around you. So every apprenticeship will develop an individualized training plan around you. So there are kind of ballpark figures. So for instance, as I said, the lab scientist is around about 5 years. The marketing manager one is around 2 years, but that's not to say that you can't complete it in a shorter time, or you might need a little bit more time to end up completing. So as I say, I'm reluctant to almost say, one role is X and another role is B. As I say, it's very much about developing an individual training plan, and you work at your own pace.
Okay, thank you. Just quickly, a question's coming from Jeff, and he's asking how many roles are available this year?
Absolutely. So we currently have 11 vacancies that are listed on our site. However, we do sometimes provide opportunities throughout the year. So this may increase over the year, but currently we have 11 vacancies which are live.
Okay, thank you. And Julia is asking, do you have any roles for people with a degree?
Absolutely. So with apprenticeships, there is no limit to the apprenticeship that you can apply for. So, for example, if you have a degree and you're looking to go into a different discipline, so as an example, you may have a chemistry degree and you're looking to apply for a project management role. That is absolutely fine. You are able to apply for the degree, sorry, for the apprenticeship, as long as you can meet the minimum requirements. There will be instances, so for example, if you do have that chemistry degree and you're looking to apply for one of our lab scientist roles, we may have to look into that into a bit more detail, as there may be some overlap of learning, which will make you unsuitable for studying towards the apprenticeship because you already have prior learning in place.
Okay, great, thank you. Another really common question that we get asked is, how would you describe the culture at Pfizer?
Fantastic. So here at Pfizer, we don't have a culture. It's, you know, a very flexible culture. We have 45 minutes only for meetings. So it's a great way to not be too, I guess, stagnant in meetings. And, you know, it's a great way for you to constantly be energized. I'm currently in the situation where we're working from home. It's a great opportunity to still be, you know, working from home and bringing the best. So we have an initiative where we log in for our day, which is great. So I've really enjoyed working for Pfizer. I've been here for over a year now, and it's a fantastic place to be. When you're on site, you know, there is a gym on site, which is great, and you can use that throughout the day. And we have bright, lovely offices, and we've also introduced a way of working where it's called activity-based working. So it is a fantastic culture here at Pfizer, and that's across all of our sites.
And just to add as well, that they're very supportive as well. They want to ensure that all the apprentices that they take on succeed. So they do spend an additional amount of time making sure that the apprentices are fully trained, that everyone's given a dedicated mentor, and really they move heaven and earth to make sure that every apprentice has the best experience possible.
Absolutely, and that comes from our line managers, who are very enthusiastic to help our apprentices grow, from Tim and I, who are always there to support where possible. And we've also recognised this year that we want to provide more to our apprentices. So we have put on things like skills workshops. We've enhanced the opportunities through the apprenticeship network, where successful candidates will also have a mentor as well. So there's always the support in place for apprentices when needed. So yeah, good point to raise, Tim.
Okay, thank you. Sort of leading on from that then, what's the training like at Pfizer? How would you describe that?
So with an individual that is currently on an apprenticeship program, they will be training alongside their role. So obviously with the training provider, and that program is outlined. And then we also provide additional support. So the skills workshops are something in place, but we also now have other initiatives like talking circles, where individuals can learn from others within the business and understand more around their role as well. So learning, there are lots of opportunities available here at Pfizer, and for you to, whether it's learning about the role that you're in, and whether that be from other colleagues, or actually looking for you to develop some of those softer skills as well. There's lots of support in place for that.
Okay, thank you. We had a question here from Peter, and he's asking, do you have any sales roles available to apprentices?
We currently don't have any sales roles available, but we do have other roles, such as business admin. If you're looking for an administrative role, we do also have sort of project management roles available as well. But unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have any sales roles. But I will ask you to go and have a look at the current vacancies that we do have available within the sort of more commercial business side, and see if any of those do apply to you.
Okay, and a similar question from Georgina, and she's asking, are there any work experience or intern placements available?
Absolutely. So we do have work experience opportunities. And if you are interested, you can see the link, the email address that's currently on our on the page at the moment. So please do send an email, because we are currently looking at our work experience program, and then we also hire for interns as well. So if you just want to send an email across that, we can fire some more information across to you as well.
Okay, thank you. We had another question from Tanya, and she's asking, would apprentices get involved with the COVID vaccine development, or is there any other vaccine development routes that apprentices can take?
Absolutely. So our apprentices do get involved in a variety of work throughout their apprenticeships, and that could be anything from supporting on the development for scientific experiments, or performing some of the technical and operations support there as well. So our apprentices do get involved in a range of opportunities for our medicines that go to market, and that may be for controlling the quality and safety of our products. So absolutely, apprentices do get involved in a variety of work whilst here at Pfizer.
Okay, great, thank you. So you gave a lot of application hints and tips during the presentation. Another question we get asked a lot is about work experience. And are there any specific work experience that helps a candidate to stand out?
Absolutely. So, Tim, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, so with regards to any type of work experience, I suppose the important thing is to try and use that experience and demonstrate the transferable skills that you gained, and put those in your application. That's really what we're looking for with regards to the whole recruitment process.
And just something to add on that as well, with work experience, again, you get involved in a variety of different activities and probably use a variety of skills and abilities as well. So think really hard about what you did do in the role and what you needed to do to achieve, I guess, the outcomes of that role, and think about the skills and abilities that you also used as well. You'll be very surprised when you do think a little bit deeper, actually, how can some of those skills and abilities really be applied? So do have a sit down and do have a think about what you can also include in your application from your work experience.
Okay, thank you. And sort of leading on from that, another popular question that we get asked is there such a thing as a perfect candidate?
Oh, good question. Tim?
Certainly not. There's lots of great candidates out there, but in terms of a perfect candidate, no. I mean, as I say, what we're looking for really, assuming you meet the entry requirements, really is bundles of enthusiasm and a real demonstration for why you want to work in that job role. That's essentially why we're trying to give you that opportunity. And as I say, really part of the recruitment process really is to make sure that this is the right opportunity for you. Because obviously, if you were to take that opportunity and then obviously 6 months later, not kind of jack it in, so to speak, you've then taken away someone else's opportunity that perhaps may have been better suited for them. So as I say, part of the recruitment process is making sure that this is definitely the role that you want, and that's why we're trying to ask you all these different types of questions, because we want to make sure that this is the role that you really want.
Absolutely.
Sasha, anything else? Yeah,
absolutely. Echo exactly what you've said, Tim. And I think also having a look at our values as well. There is no perfect candidate, but you've got a willingness to show that you're looking to work hard and you've got a passion for the role that you're applying for. Have a look at our values as well. So courage, excellence, equity, and joy really underpins all the work that we do here at Pfizer.
Okay, thank you. Another question here from Callie, and she's asking, is there an age limit for these roles?
Absolutely not. There's no age limit whatsoever for any of our apprenticeships. So as long as you can meet the entry requirements, we can accept all applications, and there are no age limits whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. And you mentioned about you give support with relocating. That's another popular question that we get asked. I wonder if you could go into a bit more detail about that support that's offered.
Absolutely. So the support that we offer here at Pfizer is we have undergraduates and apprentices joining our business throughout the year, so typically around September. So there have been individuals that are looking to relocate closer to our site, so whether that's Sandwich or whether that's Walton Oaks. And the cohort before, so whether that's undergrads or apprentices, may have housing in place and then are looking to end their tenancy agreement when they do leave. So there is a Facebook group where individuals can join together to have a discussion and I guess buddy up to see if there's opportunities for them to live closer to site. So it is a Facebook group that we do control, so we are always keeping an eye on it, but it gives the opportunity for individuals to network and meet with others that are looking to relocate closer to our site and find housing accommodation. There are also some apprentices or even some individuals within our business who know of opportunities. So if there's a place to rent local nearby, that can also be posted on there as well. So we do control that this Facebook chat group, but it also does allow individuals to sort of have a discussion with each other to find what is local to sites.
Okay, great, thank you. Beth is asking, so is there anything to pay towards apprenticeships and even degree apprenticeships?
Very good question. Tim, did you want to take that one?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. As it said in the careers video that you may have seen earlier, no, there is nothing to pay for you as the employee or the apprentice. All the costs, all the training costs are taken care of by Pfizer. So in terms of studying for the degree apprenticeship at Greenwich University as a lab scientist, there is no student fees at all, and you still get the same degree that would be awarded as if you were a normal full-time student. So as I say, there's no fees at all to you as the apprentice. And if we did charge you, we'd be breaking funding rules and we would get into serious trouble.
Okay, great, thank you. Another question that we always get asked is, what are the opportunities like after you've finished your apprenticeship?
Very good question as well. So all of our apprenticeships are on a fixed term contract. However, we have had apprentices who have gone on to continue their apprenticeship studies. So whether that's going on from a level 3 apprenticeship to a level 6 apprenticeship, or even topping up onto a further qualification. So that is one instance where individuals do have the opportunity to continue to excel in their apprenticeship and their career. We also have opportunities where individuals can seek and apply for permanent roles. And again, there have been many successful apprentices who have also done this as well. However, all our apprenticeships are fixed term contracts, but there is always opportunities that do become available towards the end of your apprenticeship. So when you are coming to that stage, do keep your eye on those. And again, we do encourage sort of open conversation as well.
Okay, great, thank you. Well, I think we're coming to the end of the questions that we've got lined up. I wondered if you two had any closing comments to make.
Absolutely not. Firstly, thank you for joining us. And again, if there are any questions, please do email us, and we would be delighted to answer them. And we look forward to receiving your application. So thank you very much. And that's all from me. Over to you, Tim.
Yep, and as I say, if you are thinking about applying for one of the positions, honestly, Pfizer is a great company to work for. The apprenticeship that we provide is one of the best in the country, and you will have a fantastic time learning, working and studying all at the same time. So yeah, look forward to receiving your applications. Best of luck.
So thanks again to Pfizer and everyone that joined us today. Just to remind you that the session has been recorded and will be uploaded to careermap.co.uk soon, so you can refer back to the presentation at any time. We hope you enjoyed today's webinar and we hope to see you again very soon. So stay safe everyone, and thank you for joining.